the UK economy is made up of many SME businesses, isn't it?
That should be a big focus for next year. How are you really leveraging tech available now?
Don't spend too much time looking at your competitors. Focus on what you can change in your environment.
Apparently 43% of UK businesses reported some sort of breach or attack.
Well, I think for a lot of SMEs as well, you've got that agility of being in the cloud as well, haven't you?
Had any encounters with any malfunctioning car doors recently?
As it happens, I have, yeah.
Oh, really? Fancy that.
Feeling slightly...
Have you got stars? You know in the cartoons when they have the stars and the little Tweety birds flying around? Have you got one of them?
No, but I think I've got, you know, when you overthink something.
Psychosomatic.
Psychosomatic, maybe. But yeah, we'll see how this goes. If I start bleeding out of my ear...
Right.
That's probably when it's time.
If your mum's listening now, she's going to start getting a bit worried, isn't she? So we need to put our mind at rest.
Well, by the time this comes out, I'll either be healed or dead. So
that's not going to put your mum's mind at rest. Suffice it to say, you had a minor bump to the head. Yeah. But just minor.
Just minor.
Just shook it off.
We'll shake it off, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll play through. You've got to, you know, the people want a podcast.
You can't keep your audience waiting. There'd be complaints, wouldn't there?
There would be.
Right.
So this is what we do.
Okay.
We've all got to push through, persevere.
But you're feeling all right. What should I be looking for? Pupils dilating?
Yeah, just generally wandering off.
Falling off the chair.
Talking about
random stuff.
Yeah, if I start talking
going
about
down
ancient Sumerian kings or something, then...
Right. Well, that's pretty much every podcast we've ever recorded.
Yeah, you're not going to be able to tell the difference.
I can't tell the difference.
Like, he always talks about random stuff.
Random, yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay.
If I start talking normal, maybe.
Maybe that's the sign. My God, coherent and well-informed.
If I started to, you know, start praising Keir Starmer and Rachel Reeves, then
hang on now.
You would know.
Just
at that point, you know something's gone horribly wrong with my mind.
Just take it steady. I mean, bearing in mind our audience may well have a range of political views. We don't have to alienate anybody, but we're talking about specific
policies.
Events, so we'll come up to it in a minute. Okay, shall we do a podcast? We've got a lot to get through. None of this chit-chat. We haven't got time for that.
Time for chit-chat.
I know. Good. Let's do the podcast. Hello and welcome to another episode of the SME Growth Podcast from Wellmeadow, where every week we try and come up with something interesting and useful for owners and managers of small and medium-sized enterprises, focused mainly here in the UK, but we're listened to all over the world, so maybe some of this is useful wherever you are. This week, as we approach the end of the year, the twilight of 2025, just a week to go until the big man in the red coat comes and visits us, if you've been good. We thought we'd do a little bit of a review of the year.
Indeed.
So that seems like a good time of year to do it. There'll be loads of different
Festive
podcasts.
Jumper on.
I didn't get the memo, which for younger listeners is like a Slack message printed out and delivered by hand and put in an inbox, which for younger listeners is
pigeonhole.
A pigeonhole, yeah. Or a ducat, as they call it in Scotland. Anyway, so yes, I didn't get the memo about the Christmas jumper. Sorry, that let side down there. But you have, so we'll make all of the video edits
Nordic.
show you.
Yes.
Yeah, the
Nordic Christmas.
It's one of those Christmas jumpers that you can sort of say it's a Christmas jumper, but it hasn't got Rudolph and...
You can wear it early. It's an early December Christmas jumper.
Oh, is it?
You can wear it early December.
Would it be what the Americans would call a holiday season jumper?
It could be, actually, yeah.
Without making any religious references.
Exactly. So, it's a multi-purpose... festive jumper.
It does look very nice, though.
I could get more festive
Whether you could wear
as
it
I get closer to Christmas.
March, I'm not sure.
As I get closer to Christmas, I could make it more.
We'll be seeing that again in the office, I'm sure. Right, so year in review we'll do, but how did we get to here? Last 3 episodes?
Podcast in review. 148, is HubSpot becoming your AI teammate? Been talking about this.
Yeah, that was all the new features coming out, wasn't it, after the big shindig?
And just the AI becoming much more useful from the point of view of just being able to interrogate things. 149, think before you scale. So
this was a reflection. I think this was a book that Mike Jones lent us, wasn't it? The Happy Business book. And it talked about this point where people have got to make this brave decision to... And you've been having a bit of a chat about that recently.
Should I stay or should I grow?
You could write a song about that, couldn't you?
For any Stranger Things fans out there, that was a little homage to the Stranger Things world without giving away any spoilers.
Right. Okay. Well, I haven't seen Stranger
Should I
Things.
Stay
as
or
we
Should I
said.
Go is a major theme song in that.
Right. Do you know who originally sang that? Probably more my era than yours. I don't know.
My dad probably does.
Your dad.
And 150 is your leadership holding you back. Move from being a doer to a delegator. Hot topic at Wellmeadow HQ,
exactly.
ATM.
And a couple of our clients. I had a very interesting conversation with a bloke called Jim yesterday, who have been referred to, has that exact problem. There you go. So if you're listening, Jim, we're on it. We'll come and help you.
On it.
Good. Was that the last three?
That was last week, yeah.
Yeah, good. Excellent. So that brings us to episode number?
151. That's probably a sort of test a doctor would give me, wouldn't it?
Okay. What's the Prime Minister's name? You've already covered that one.
Covered that
what
one.
day of the week is it?
Friday.
Friday, good. And I can't remember what else they ask. What's your name or something? Anyway, you seem to be doing okay. We'll let you off for that. Right, now we've got a whole load of stuff we could go through here. We thought we'd have a bit of a look back through, linking it to podcast episodes where appropriate, but really just talking about from an SME owner-manager's point of view, what's 2025 been like? So we've broken it down into various different aspects, talking about the economy, the whole tax business going on, growth, productivity, tech, regulatory changes, all that sort of thing. And at the end, I think we'll try and come up with sort of 3 key takeaways and trends for 2026. Does that sound like a plan? Sounds like a plan. Go on then. I was going to say start with the economy, get it out of the way really, because people find it a bit dull and all that sort of thing, but we're all affected by it in one way or another. We can't change it, can we? As our friend Roger Martin Fagg kept saying.
No, the macro. You can change the micro, not the macro.
Yeah, and you can certainly change your little corner of the world, can't you?
Yeah.
And as he said, just carry on doing great things for customers, adding value, and
I think, the stats are probably well rehearsed across numerous. People talk about this all the time, but the UK economy is made up of many SME businesses, isn't it? 99% or maybe more than that. Yeah. 99.9% of all firms are SMEs.
SMEs, yeah.
Major employers, major contributor to economic.
Yes, I think we've said before it's about 60% of the economy. That's certainly as measured by number of people employed. Yeah. 60% of people employed by SMEs. And the turnover is about half, which does go, it's quite astonishing, really, isn't it? That 0.1%, those few big businesses do half the turnover. And the 99.9% of us in the rest do the other half. And of that, it's even more skewed. In the SME bit, the sub 50, which is the S, the small, that's about 2/3 of that. Split about 2 to 1.
So it's a really good job then that we've actually got a cabinet that really understand that as well, isn't it?
Yeah, because there's a lot of experience.
Of SME.
Or even just business.
Just business.
This is getting... You've come in today with a mission, haven't you? Did someone dare you?
I may have actually, Matt, if you're listening. I won't go as far as maybe I said I would.
Oh, I see. But, did he give you a reference to sneak in or something?
Well, he goaded me to... try and have
dangerous. Have you done that before? What was he trying to get a song title in or something? I can't remember.
I think it was hippopotamus or something, wasn't it? And that wasn't...
Whatever Matt said, it sounds like it's...
So
on the GDP bit, the whole country, it's probably done slightly better than we thought at the beginning of the year. Early year forecast for about 1% for the year. Looks like we're going to close at 1.5%. But don't get too excited, because if you go back to 2019, just pre-pandemic, we're only 5% better than then in real terms. That's pretty shocking, isn't it? It was 6 years.
Yeah.
And we've only got about 5%. And when you compare that to other countries, even the Eurozone, with all of its range in it, is 6.5%. And the US is going barnstormers because of Trump being so clever and brilliant and all that stuff. And they're doing 13%.
There we go.
So, we're growing in name. Well, it's not been a crash, has it?
No.
It's slightly better than stagnant. But that hides a lot of ups and downs within it. And I think that's the point we try and tell people. SMEs, more businesses, in fact, most of the employment this year has come from SMEs. When you look at that.
Yeah. Productivity-wise, episode 25, if anyone wants to have a deep dive on productivity.
That's worth another listen, actually. It's a bit of a hot topic, isn't it? Why is it that the UK's got this productivity problem? And has it really? I was looking at some stats the other day that it is pretty slumpish, but there's a lot of other countries, Germany, really struggling at the moment, as we said before. But our productivity is pretty grim, isn't it? In fact, even those GDP figures that we just talked about just now, if you do it per head, it looks worse because we've got more heads.
More heads, yeah.
But episode 25, we did a bit of that. I think we talked about it again a little bit in episode 129 as well, where we talked about productivity impacts of burnout and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
That's good. So if there were to be some positive things, though, this year, some of this has come from recent announcements. I feel like I'm almost a mouthpiece for the government if I list these, because it's, this is what the government says. Yeah, propaganda. But they have a plan for small business.
Do they?
They do. And it's all about...
to destroy them.
They don't say too much about other than cutting energy costs. Boosting skills. Boosting skills. How do they do that then, do you think? Because they've screwed up the apprentices levy thing, hasn't it? That doesn't work.
Well, they're cutting energy costs probably from, they've gone a lot higher.
Yeah, well, I suppose you can always do that. Put it up fast and bring it back.
Cutting from where would be the question there.
And all that. British Business Bank has been given a load more money. The Growth Guarantee Scheme. I had to look that up. What's the Growth Guarantee Scheme? It turns out it's just the old recovery loan scheme.
Okay, rebranded, repackaged.
But they've been given a bit more money. Although 500 million, it sounds like a lot to you and me, but spread over.
Yeah.
How many businesses did we just say it was? 5.6 million small businesses.
Yeah.
Not a lot each, is it?
10 each or something.
Don't do the math. It's not
10 quid each. There you go. You buy your lunch.
Yeah, thanks for that, government. And there's a 70% government guarantee, apparently. As we found before, it's the whole lend your brolly while the sun's shining stuff.
Yeah, and I think interestingly, a lot of those sort of grant loan schemes are tied to headcount increase, aren't they?
Yeah, you got me. You found the trigger. We moan about productivity and then reward people for taking on people when you don't actually need to take on people. You need to do more activity for the same people.
Yeah.
That's what productivity is all about. Startup loans, we're not really too involved in the startup world, are we? We're more scale up and the transition from small to medium and stuff like that. But yeah, apparently 70,000 new businesses getting some financing, early stage financing. Yeah. I think the thing about financing, I'd go to someone like Oliver Wadlow, who we talked to back in episode 132, because he's a corporate finance guy, isn't he? So talk to someone like that, a corporate finance person, but find one of these small boutique local ones who can dig around and find out other sources of funding for you. Make
sure you're using it wisely.
What are you thinking in mind there then? Do you borrow the money and buy a nice car with or something?
I've seen people do that.
Yeah.
But no, you want to invest for growth, don't you?
All right, so modest growth this year, policy and costs, however, not so in our favour, which brings us probably onto the budget. Should we get that out of the way? Because I know it was only recently, so it's fresh in people's minds, but it is a pretty major event in the year, isn't it?
Is indeed.
She delayed that till November. Another bumper tax rise year. Do you remember last year? Or was it 40 billion or something she raised last year, back in 2024? So it won't have to come back again. Slate is wiped clean. Yeah, filled the black hole. Turns out there's another black hole they found.
I know.
I wonder how many more.
Very dangerous.
It's like potholes.
Very dangerous, isn't it?
So another 26 billion she raised this year. Fiscal drag seemed to be doing most of the heavy lifting on this one.
Do you think she'll still be in office by the time this podcast gets released?
Well, you said the other day that the odds were 2-1 by the end of the year.
I know. I thought she'd have been gone by the time we're recording, but I think she's been helped out by Senor Putin, hasn't she? He seems to be grabbing the headlines at the moment. Yeah. I don't want a war with Europe, but if they want one, Yeah, I know. Even though we're completely stretched on our northwestern flank, we can take on everybody. He's over in India at the moment, I think. Is he?
Anyway, so this is definitely straying. So 26 billion, mainly through fiscal drag. And I don't know, do people not complain enough about that? Because they think, I'm getting a pay rise anyway.
We need to be more French about this, really, don't we?
What?
Get the yellow jackets
All have a mistress or something?
No.
A maillot jaune.
No, get out there and protest. When does that happen? That's what I was talking to Matt about that. When does that happen?
Yeah, we don't protest.
When do we all push back on this and say nobody? Was it? I want everyone to. Everyone's got to make a contribution. This isn't a contribution. This is a gun to your head demanding.
We're ranting now. Here's a surprising stat. Private sector employment fell 1.8%.
I wonder
Fancy
why.
that. Do you think they've worked that out in the government? Because they've done so many nice things, like putting up employees' national insurance and increasing national living wage beyond inflation. And threatening on day one rights coming in. With all that going on, it's amazing we're not just recruiting like Billio. Why wouldn't you do that? business confidence. It's interesting. We fill in. I fill in on our behalf the monthly Purchasing Managers Index survey, giving optimism. And apparently the long run average for whether you think next year will be better than this year is at plus 43%, even though it never is. so that just goes to show that people who fill these things in must be more the entrepreneurs with this amazing optimism bias, rather than the finance directors who'd probably say, oh, no, not going to get that.
I think, though, I mean, you can easily talk yourself down with all this, can't you? You can get you could get yourself into a state. I think at the end of the day, you've got to sort of count your blessings, your situation. Maybe I'm talking personally here. You could always be in a worse situation, couldn't you?
God, it must be getting close to Christmas. You've gone all fluffy.
You could.
I can see the screens going all like that.
Be like,
soft focus.
I was talking to someone recently who lives in another country, comes back, I won't name it, but comes back to the UK, and she said, you don't appreciate when you're in the UK just actually quite how luxurious it is, that you can go and buy a sandwich from a very nice sandwich shop, and you know, even those small luxuries that we often take for granted, and yes, they are costing more than they used to, you know, a few years ago, but we probably don't see so much of we do actually live in you know, quite a nice place. It's reasonably safe.
Well, those of us listening to this podcast more so, you know, we're probably talking to a broadly middle class audience, aren't we? And you're right, there's always people worse off than you. Okay. So
and I think sometimes you just got to think, okay, it is what it is.
Well, I feel bad now if I list all these things from the budget, because you're going to say I'm moaning.
Well, it's factual, isn't it? Really.
It is.
But I'm saying.
Even
you
with
could,
this,
well, I think you can end up in a doom spiral with it all, can't you? You can end up think, what's the point?
What's the point?
And a lot of people are in that place, but there is a reason to do it. Just your self-respect and pride in your work is something to be.
And I don't think most people, if you speak to them, they all say in principle, maybe they don't vote this way, but they say in principle, I don't mind paying my fair share of tax, even if that goes up a bit, as long as it's spent on
you. Yeah,
things.
I think that's it, isn't it? It's what's it getting spent on is the issue.
And I have for a long time said that with dividend tax that's going up next year, that it is bizarre that smaller and medium-sized owners of businesses that tend to take some of their reward, if not the majority of it, as a dividend rather than as a salary. Okay, that's taxed differently and all that. You've got to pay corporation tax on it stuff, but you don't pay national insurance. And that's what she picked up on in the budget, wasn't she? So rather than changing that per se, she's just put the dividend tax rate up from, well, whatever it was, depending on the band you're in, up by 2 points. So, you know, fair enough. I can't really complain about it. It's an easy target, I suppose. Oh, tax has gone up. But for a long time, dividend recipients have been advantaged over salaried recipients. So fair enough.
Well, there's a risk-reward argument to be made there as well, though, isn't there?
I think you still need to have the favour of the people who are making the risks. Yeah, having a job isn't carrying the same risk as it as running a business. The other one, I did a bit of research on this. She's clamping down on the salary sacrifice for pensions, putting a cap on that for 2,000. So, well, what does that mean then? If you have a company contribution to your pension, is that automatically called a salary sacrifice? And the book that comes out, whatever, says no, it'll have to be accompanied by an actual drop in salary at the time it goes up. How are they going to manage that?
Yeah.
It's like they're putting the 3p on the EV road tax thing because they're not getting fuel duty because you're not buying fuel, so they charge 3p.
I think it feels like one of these budgets where they're like, we're not actually going to be in government.
Yeah, but that would be true in 3 years' time.
By the time this actually comes in.
But some of that's coming in next year, isn't it?
I mean, there's no way that, you know, Reeves and Starmer are going to be in the job by the time most of this stuff kicks in. So
that it'll be their successors having to implement it. But then they can just blame them, can't they? Well, but given that new cars don't get an MOT for 3 years, how are they going to police how many miles you've done?
You're going to have to go in and do
just say, I've done 10 this year.
You don't need to think about that kind of detail when you're making policy that influences millions of people's decisions.
Capital gains tax and the business asset disposal relief, everyone knows that's already going up next April from 14 to 18. So there'll be a bit of a last rush, I think, to get some business sales out of the way, and then the benefit of doing so.
Wait for Nige then, haven't you, really?
Yeah. Employee ownership trusts, we've heard a few about those this year. They seem to be gaining ground, you know. And just as they did, she said, only half of it now is going to be exempt from tax rather than the whole lot. Business rates, that's a real hodgepodge, depending if you're on retail and hospitality and what your building is and all sorts. So I'll leave people to go and get expert advice on all that stuff. Yeah, so there you go. Lots of bits and bobs in there. But essentially it's the fiscal drag thing, isn't it? Not moving the rates up. So, like you say, though, you can't do much about it. So, I think someone was moaning the other day about paying too much tax. I said, surely it's the sign of a well-developed democracy where we've got fairly good standard of living, that we actually don't mind paying tax. That's part of being in a society, isn't it? It's just that good thing about, is it fair? Is it fair how much everybody pays, and is it usefully spent?
I think we've got a very unstable tax base there, haven't we? That's the problem. We've got like 1% of people pay 30% of income tax, and the top 10% are paying 60%.
Yeah.
Well,
it's already a pretty progressive tax, isn't it?
It's how far do you push that?
Yeah.
I think if you said everybody pays tax, just floating this, even if you're on benefits, you pay tax, so that you feel like you're contributing. Change your mindset.
Yeah. Okay. I'm not going to speak for how I might feel if I were on benefits, because I've got no experience of that. But whether that would work or not, it's a bit like saying have a universal basic income.
Yeah.
People have tried that, haven't they? Finland, I think.
Finland tried it. Yeah. Anyway.
So that's the budgety stuff. Labour costs. Everyone knows about the national living wage going up by 4% in April, which isn't a lot more than inflation, but it's starting to get to a level now, £12.71. So, I want everyone to get a decent wage. The problem, especially when they start expanding that to the younger workers, how does someone with no experience wanting their first foot on the career ladder, or just get a part-time job? How does someone at 18, 17 even, 19, they need a differential in rates surely to make up for the fact that they're not going to contribute as much. And of course it impacts all the people just above the rate, doesn't it? About 2.5 million workers are affected by the rate increase. So with that and the national insurance and then the threat of the day one rights thing, it does make you've got to. I think maybe
certain industries, hospitality and things, isn't it? It's just really going to be a struggle.
Do we not have a chat with Richard Llewellyn-Bell? I haven't got that episode number to hand, but he was talking about the day one rights when they were first mooted after Labour came to power just over a year ago. And as he was saying, if you've got your processes right and you're managing your probation periods properly and your recruitment's fairly sound, it shouldn't really frighten you. I'm not sure. I think it depends. But I find it difficult to imagine in some jobs that in as quick as 6 months you can work out whether someone's good enough. But okay, that's coming in. So about an extra £900 a person for the minimum wage. And after that, make sure you keep an eye on your pricing. Keep it in line with your costs and don't delay if you're going to put a price up. Energy costs. They did announce that thing with the grid upgrade. It is astonishing, isn't it, that they pay wind turbines to not run just because we haven't got enough cables.
What did I? Someone
did they not
said
think
the
of
other
that
day.
when they? It takes a while to put a load of wind turbines in the sea, right? It's not a quick drive along and screw it in the ground, and yet they haven't got the cables for it yet.
Who owns all the land or the sea, the coastal?
The Crown.
The Crown,
yeah.
They seem to be doing all right.
So they're renting space. For wind turbines to be paid not to spin.
I heard the other day. So New Zealand, they've gone quite heavy on the old net zero, haven't they? So over the next, it's going to cost them something like till the end of the century, 5 trillion is going to be the cost of going net zero.
Right. Wow.
And they estimate that in global terms, it will be 0.04% impact. Yeah. So basically delays some kind of global
I think we've got to switch the argument
by 3 weeks.
Because whether you believe that we can make enough of a difference on it, but there are other good arguments for doing it, regardless of the climate change argument. Energy security is one. And also in the UK, the way our energy prices are fixed by gas, because it's all marginal rate pricing, if anybody's looked into that. We just need to make more of the time where we're not relying on gas to top up. And then the whole energy price for everyone. We pay 4 times more for electric here than the Americans in industry.
Crazy.
How are we supposed to run companies with anything of an energy requirement? That's industry knocked on the head, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's already down to 9% of our economy. It was 15% only about 10 years ago. What are we going to have left? Only things that don't need electric.
Financial services, that's probably quite electrical.
That's shrunk this year.
Data centres and everything else need a bit of...
Yeah.
You don't want to go and look at your probably your ChatGPT energy consumption. All those prompts.
Turn a blind eye to that. Well, that brings us nicely on to the next topic, which was tech reliability and all the outages that there have been this year. Yeah. We did a good episode on this, didn't we? We were frightened enough to think about it. Episode 126. Do you remember that? We talked about where you keep your backups.
The business bunker.
Yeah. We now have a nuclear bunker underneath the office. Don't tell anyone.
Don't tell anyone.
We'll probably flood anyway where we are. Can't do that. We need somewhere else.
The fax machine's just full of water.
No. And it seems to have got worse in the second half of this year. Suddenly, we've had lots of big outages. So Amazon Web Services back in October.
Cloudflare
That took out Cloudflare this morning. No, but also back last month they went out, and it was something to do with updates going wrong or something. All sorts of different. Google Cloud went out. Microsoft 365 Azure, they went out. So all of our services suddenly stop.
Yeah.
Which is why we said back in the episode, have you got the ability to at least retrieve some of the files from backups and so on, and at least carry on doing some work, even if it's just for a few hours? Because it's not about the internet being lost to your building. Some digger has gone through the cable. This is about the cloud not working.
I suppose, though, it's one of those things you only notice when it's not working, though, isn't it?
And you wouldn't want to go back to having servers. I still meet companies, talking to one yesterday, who've got an on-premise ERP system.
Yeah.
And there's loads of companies out there still with that. And some of them are quite deliberately not wanting to go to the cloud, and they'll cite this as the problem. But I wonder what the stats are on how many on-premise systems cause problems. Servers go out of date and don't get maintained and replaced and all that sort of thing. So there's probably no safe way of doing it, but think about it, right? Work out what would happen if...
Well, I think for a lot of SMEs as well, you've got that agility of being in the cloud as well, haven't you? It's a lot easier to... if you need a remote working or workers all around the world or to access a talent pool.
More so, yeah. And why not? So that links on nicely to the cyber threat angle of it. So tech might go down itself, but even if it's working, there are bad actors.
Yeah.
Bad actors out there. So apparently 43% of UK businesses reported some sort of breach or attack in the year.
Yeah, no, the stats are pretty... and
so
very few companies, that's what it was a couple of years ago, less than 1% actually have cyber insurance.
Right. That's right. I remember we talked to an insurance company about it, didn't we?
This would have been a great segue for an advert, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Now we'll take this short commercial break. Phishing is still the biggest problem. And now I guess...
Phishing with a P.
Phishing with a P, yes. Yes, phishing with an F is not a problem at all. That's perfectly nice. Talking of which, you were going to take up phishing.
I was.
How did that go? Can you tell our humble listener whether that actually happened?
Someone was asking me about this the other day, actually, Matt, how's your fishing going on? I said, well...
Have you caught any? Have you cast a line yet?
I've been busy doing things, and the river's up, so as we say in Shropshire.
Okay.
River's up.
So this year has been not a good year for cyber attacks. The biggest one ever in the UK is Jaguar Land Rover. I'm not sure if the kids that did it realised quite how impactful their mucking around would be.
I blame the parents.
Yeah, that's when you find out it's one of your kids, and then you blame someone else. Back in August this was, I think 6 weeks they had to stay closed for, and even then loads of suppliers struggled to get back up and again. They reckon the hit on the whole economy is nearly £2 billion. Incredible, isn't it?
It does go to show some of the vulnerabilities that we do have, just maybe more as a philosophical perspective, just as our modern society becomes more and more reliant upon technology and could you even grow your own food now?
I don't think we've got enough capacity in the UK.
Sort of nine meals for monarchy and all that. Don't get me started on that
before. Well, we saw it. I don't know if you remember back when we had the fuel strikes. Yeah. When was that? I'm trying to think back. I'm going to misremember that.
2010 or something.
It was the 90s.
Or 90s.
I remember being on a course. I'd driven down. I was living in Edinburgh at the time, and I'd driven down to Rugby for this course, and all the fuel stations were closed because they'd run out of fuel with the fuel protests. And I went to work out, did I have enough fuel in my tank to get back from Rugby back to Edinburgh?
Like a precursor of it driving an EV, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, EVs hadn't even been thought of back then.
The mental maths of EV ownership.
But so few people managed to just get the whole country to stop. But now we're doing it all with cyber. So Jaguar Land Rover had a big thing. Do you remember Marks and Spencer as well? It took ages for them to recover, didn't it? They lost all online ordering. So I think they wouldn't pay the ransomware or something, ransom. And so they had to rebuild it all.
You had to, you could pay on your phone, couldn't you? You go around with your Sparks card.
Could you?
Yeah, well, allegedly.
Right. Co-op as well, they recovered a lot quicker. I don't know whether that's just better prepared or not hit as badly or something, but loads of impact on them as well. So we all know the risks. Make sure everybody's been reminded of it, all the phishing attack risks and that sort of thing. Moving down the tech theme then, we've gone from tech outages, cybersecurity, brings us neatly to AI.
AI.
Summarise for me in 1 minute The evolution of AI in 2025.
Get ChatGPT to do it. That's my answer. Get ChatGPT to do it for you. No, it's becoming. I suppose we see it a little bit more in the sort of HubSpot ecosystem of AI that's actually becoming useful.
Yeah. Having access to the right data.
And just from there, probably their evolution, without wanting to fanboy this, but it's gone from marketing automation historically to customer platform, which is kind of, a platform, bring all your business into it.
Yep.
And more recently, they've been talking some of their messaging for those that follow that sort of thing. We'll see AI teammate being used as a phrase.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably where, not just in the HubSpot world, but in all of our lives, you're seeing that like AI companion.
Like a co-pilot.
Right? Or...
But I guess if they get more agentic, then they're not just advising, they're doing as well.
Yeah.
And we've done it before with some of that vibe coding we talked about.
Yeah.
Because it takes a few minutes for it to go away and do what it's doing. You can actually do another job at the same time.
Yep.
And you just keep checking in and saying, oh, yeah, that's right, but go and do this. And then you send it off again and do some more. So, yeah, you're right. And it's hard to imagine, actually, when you go back to just January this year, what our attitude was to AI back then.
Yeah.
We were still very nervous about, I don't think you'd got the same ring fencing around the data that you'd submit to it on even ChatGPT, which you have now, especially if you pay for the business license.
But I think as well, back then it was still, early day ChatGPT would be, right, take this business thing and make it into a poem or something. And be like, oh, look, it's done it.
Mucking about,
Or make this funny image and things. And now I think what people are starting to get to is proper application.
Yeah.
I can't remember the last time I got ChatGPT to write me a poem. And I get it to do
the novelty is one
quite
of that
serious
stuff.
work,
Yeah.
And
well, I think you said in last week's episode, wasn't it, that it's almost got to the point now that if you're not using ChatGPT for things that everybody assumes it's usable for, you're almost criticised. Why are you wasting time as a human doing stuff that you could have done? You're charging me how much to go and have done that research? I could have done that in 30 seconds.
Yeah.
So I think you've got this sands are shifting a bit, aren't they?
It's the application of AI, which I think is the big.
Yeah.
It's gone from almost this is quite almost entertaining. Oh, look what it can do to actually serious application.
Yeah.
Of how it can drive productivity and
they are
innovation.
trying a lot to cut down on the hallucination problem. In fact, they did hallucination rankings the other day. I think Claude comes out very high on that.
Yeah.
It's very well protected against it.
But I think it's that like the teammate thing's really interesting, because you can almost say you've got someone to bounce ideas off, and that ability to, if you haven't always got maybe access to those kind of people, or everyone's busy or whatever, or you have an idea at 3:00 in the morning and no one's there around to talk, the ability to bounce stuff off AI, I want you to be an expert in this area, give me feedback on these ideas, is becoming really, really useful.
I think for productivity, it counts in so many different ways, but 2 or 3, it certainly helps you having to do stuff by hand, clearly. It's just basic automation. It's got access to so much more information. It may not be able to do the same reasoning that you can do, but it can collect it all and it will remind you of stuff. But maybe also help you just plan your day better. We're all pretty efficient at manually working out what's the next thing I should do, either because something's in my calendar or I've received an email. But there's so many multiple inputs of things to do. To have something else cast an eye over all of that and say, if you've got 5 minutes, this is the most important thing to do in the next 5 minutes. Record a podcast. Obviously, it will always say. So the other thing to watch out for, and I hadn't really picked up on this, that from August, if you are a UK business that sells into the EU, you are now subject to the new EU AI Act.
Oh, right.
Now, I would have thought, fine. Well, I suspect companies that do that will know. But we sell into the EU, don't we? We have a client. Now,
we have multiple clients in the EU, actually.
Yeah, so that's true. I know who you're thinking of there. So if that now covers us, that's a bit of a wake up. Does that matter too much? What have we got to do? And if you're developing AI models, the requirements are much stricter. Fair enough, you would expect that. But even if you're using AI models, you've got to, if you were in the EU and challenged on it as a supplier to that, you'd have to be able to document where are you putting human in the loop, what data are you giving it, how are you cleansing it, making sure it doesn't hallucinate. We've not been challenged on that by any of our EU customers.
I imagine most of them probably aren't aware of it.
Maybe they aren't either, no. So that may be something that crops up a bit more. We're also finding more of our customers have got ISO 27000. So all of a sudden it's not just some nice words in the terms and conditions
Yeah.
about respecting confidentiality and data security and stuff, it's really hard hitting.
Yeah, it's probably part of just the maturing of the AI industry, isn't it?
Yeah.
An application of it.
So I think it's that's about awareness and taking it responsibly, educating your people, getting the cybersecurity thing. That's something we've been talking about a bit as well, isn't it, recently? So there's a bit of a summary of just a few of the highlights and lowlights of what's happened in the year. What would we say that sets us up for then in terms of 2026?
I've just got the New Labour theme song in my head. Things can only
That's not.
get
Oh, the New
better.
Labour, not the New Labour theme song.
No,
The New
I
Labour.
know, the New Labour. Yeah, sorry, it's the concussion.
That's it. The first
That's
sign.
the pause.
Starting to sing.
The concussed pause.
Things can only get better. I think getting your scenarios in your budget next year to not just assume the best. This happened a couple of years ago. We've had a flat year. It could easily tip one way or the other at the moment, couldn't it?
Yeah, it's like when you're close to break even, isn't it?
Small changes.
Small change have a big impact.
I'd like to think budget's behind us. We stop moaning about everything that's gone wrong on it and just start get on with it now. There must be a load of pent up demand for capital projects that have been held back. At some point, it's got to come through.
Yeah.
Bit of investment going and stuff. So I think definitely allow a version of your plan to be a best case, but don't assume it's going to happen.
Yeah.
So plan for the worst and manage the cash. That's that bit. Number two, I think productivity. All that stuff about AI we've just talked about. The fact that we've got this productivity problem. I think that should be a big focus for next year. How are you really leveraging tech available now? Even if it's not AI, basic automation and services out there.
Yeah.
Can you increase your turnover without necessarily having to increase the number of people?
Productivity mindset, isn't it? Some of that is mindset as well, isn't it?
Yeah. Maybe every time you're going to go to recruit someone, just ask yourself, is there any way we could redistribute jobs so that we can cover this role collectively by automating what everybody else does a bit, just a little bit, in small steps. And then I think the third one, which is, I don't want to get too negative about it all, but I think we've got to be really careful about this with cyber risk and just general dependence on data in the cloud always working. So get your cybersecurity, work out what happens if certain cloud services go down for extended periods of time. Just have a better plan than whatever you think someone in your department has done as a business continuity plan up until now. So I still think, as Roger Martin Fagg always says, things are quite rosy for SMEs. We're able to be a lot more nimble, aren't we, and do lots of things. And I think this is where AI is really our friend, whereas a lot of big companies are completely hamstrung because their departments won't let them do it. So we really need, if SMEs are going to make a big leap forward, those that are early adopting on that, I think will get big returns. But do it carefully and all that, but don't run away from it.
I think focusing on the basics as well, like Roger Martin Fagg always talks about, keep adding value.
Yeah.
Customer service, customer experience, make them paramount.
Yeah.
Do good work. Refine your systems, be more productive, those sorts of things. Going to set you apart from other people, isn't it? Don't spend too much time looking at your competitors. Focus on what you can change in your environment.
Yep.
And double down on that.
There's a quick survey done just to finish out. It's one of these PMI things that we fill in. The biggest opportunities seen by businesses. The top of the list was new business and customer acquisition.
Yeah.
Fair enough. That's why we went into what we're into now, isn't it, with the whole sort of stuff? Because every company we talk to says that is the answer to any problems they've got. Export growth, if you can export, market expansion, that sort of thing. So all good, outward-looking, positive things. What's their biggest fears? Economic uncertainty.
Yeah.
Now, that's what I've just got to hope that we've had all that now. Stop talking us down in the government. Just say, right, we're stable, let's get on with it. Let's get some investment going. Let's start growing and stop tinkering. And then all of the other things around taxes and stuff will just disappear into the rearview mirror. Exactly. Good. Okay. Excellent. Thank you very much for that year in review. I'm looking forward to next week's episode, which will be on Christmas Day. So I will find some time during the carving of the turkey to listen in, because I believe you might have a little surprise in store for us.
I think I may have made a suggestion and then it's
become a thing.
No, it's become a thing.
Become a thing. It's on the schedule. I've seen it on the wall.
Well, if Meg says it,
December 25th episode.
If Meg says it's got to happen, it's got to happen.
Just everybody know this is Rich's idea, starring Rich.
I thought you were going to do it.
Oh, did you? Okay, thanks.
It's backfired.
Yeah, it has. So we're all looking forward to that one.
Okay. I'll put some thought into it.
Okay. Thank you very much for listening to another episode of the SME Growth Podcast from Wellmeadow. A bit of a year in review. You're probably sick to your eye teeth in listening to years in review, but that was our take on it. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope it was useful. Share it if you did. And in the meantime, good luck with your business.